Hi everybody, this is a live video. My first live video. This is just a quick video lesson to show you one method for drawing figures. Okay, let's go. All right, I'm going to try and draw the Batman. This is the Adam West version of Batman. So if you've got your figure, let's start from top to bottom. I'm going to divide, this is symbolizing the top of the head, bottom of the feet. I'm going to divide that in half. So we've got two halves. I'm going to divide those in half again. Then divide that each space in half again. What that's basically giving me is 8 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Most body types, when drawing them, are roughly about 8 heads high. So from here, what we can do is we can draw the body. Now I'm going to work out a pose. This is the midway. Let's make, so the hips are going to be about here, the hip joint. And I'm not going to make his legs straight. We're going to make it a bit more dynamic. Here would be about where the knee is. I can bring that out up there. Then one leg is going to be back a little bit. Like so. The knee. Now, the top of the shoulders are going to be about 1/3 the way down from the bottom of the head. What are we going to make him do? Let's make him holding one of his batarangs. Let's do that. So here's the shoulders, shoulder joints. Make one arm come back like this. Now each part of the arm, upper arm, is about the same length as your head. There's an elbow. Bottom, lower part of the arm, same length as the head. And we don't have to worry about too much foreshortening because he's almost front on in this image. We'll make it look like he's holding his cape, something like that. It's got a slight twist to the body there. Come up a bit halfway. And we'll start adding some bulk to the body. The first time I started using this method for drawing was when I came across drawing comic books the Marvel way. I think that was it. I had a copy of that. And that was very helpful. Really, really helpful for learning how to draw the figure. But one thing I found it lacked was it didn't really give you proportions. It didn't really say this is how long an arm should be or a leg should be. You kind of just had to work that out yourself. And then later I came across a book called Drawing the Figure for All It's Worth. I can't quite remember, but it was by Andrew Loomis, and I picked up a copy of that recently, a few years ago. That book is phenomenal. Like if you're into figure drawing for comic, like if you have to draw characters for comic books, illustrations, you have to draw figures for anything from your imagination. Pick up that book. That book is fantastic. I mean, these days there's so many references out there, so many books, so many great references. But that book, I found it really, really useful. It had lots of really straightforward imagery. I think that's what you're always looking for when you get one of these visual books that for a guide to show you what to do. Okay, now the legs. coming down into the foot. So I like to try and break each part down. There's the ball under here. There's the heel. Got the top of the foot coming in like so. There's the, I'll make the bone like that, and the calf can come around like so. I'm only going to do this for about 20 minutes or so, and if anyone has any questions at any point during this demonstration, please feel free to ask. I will happily answer. I have to apologize if I ramble. When I am drawing, I tend not to talk at all. This is like, I've got to remind myself to keep talking during this demonstration. However, if you prefer I wouldn't talk, let me know in the comments. Of course, I'm just kidding. Who would want to just sit here and watch this video of someone trying to draw Batman? Now, I should point out this is Adam West's Batman, so he's not very bulky. I'm assuming Adam West was fit for his day. I remember watching the Adam West cartoon TV show, the Adam West Batman. Who was the other guy? Burt Ward. Burt Ward, I think, was his name. That was a great show. I loved it. Used to come on in the afternoon after school. Favorite time of the day. Okay, getting a basic structure of our character, what he's looking like. Of course, I can always adjust this as we go. Now I'm keeping the arms same length as the head, and then you've got a little bit for the wrist. Now he's throwing a batarang, so the hand is going to be back, just back slightly, like ready to fling that batarang. One finger out a little bit. You've got the bulge of the hand as it cups the batarang. Now I don't know how big would the batarang be. Not too big. Let's make it a little smaller so it can fit on that belt. He does have a massive belt though, doesn't he? Had to fit all sorts of things. I remember one episode he had a shark repellent on there. It was really goofy stuff, but entertaining. When you're a kid, you're not like thinking, oh, this is campy or silly. You're just thinking, this is great. This is entertaining. Will they have Adam West's Batman in the upcoming Flash film? I doubt it. How would they do it? How could they bring back Adam West? Now I feel like this leg and this leg could be up a little bit. And you've got the pectoral down here. I've probably made him a bit too wide. I don't want him to look so bulky. I want him to look more fit. And got this arm here, underside of the arm coming into the lower part of the arm. And you got the upper part of this muscle. Again, excuse me if I drop out midway. Just concentrating on trying to get the angles right. I want to make it look like the cape's being flung off his shoulder as he's pulled his cape back, like so. What I might do is, for another video lesson, paint this with an airbrush. I use the airbrush for a lot of my paintings. I think we could get a really cool looking Batman that way. I did have an idea for a bigger design for this. One of my constant faults is to always overdo a project. Think, oh, I'll make that bigger, I'll make this more intense. I should just try and simplify things, because time is of the essence. Not everyone has oodles of time to, one, watch all these videos of the production, two, I may not have all the time in the world to paint it either. You don't want to overdo a project and then get a bit bored with it. All right, the belt was a little too high. Oh, yeah, a little too high. A little bit more around the waist. So there's the rib cage in there. You've got his body's turned slightly. Let's just pull that down like that. Let's make this leg come out a bit more. There's the kneecap. Yeah, that looks better. I like that. Gives him a bit more of a... The stance looks a bit more realistic. You can see a bit more of the weight being distributed. Back then the boots were always quite pointy, I remember. So we'll make this foot come out. You've got the foreshortening of the foot as it comes out towards you. Always a tricky angle. And then got this little, I don't know what you call that on the boot, where it comes up at the front. Like a shin guard, something like that. Not quite sure. That upper muscle there come out a little bit more. Raise this knee a little bit. I'm probably fudging a lot of the dimensions, but that's okay. When you're drawing from your imagination, I think it's a-okay to, one, make a mistake, and two, sometimes just make it a little bit out of proportion from the norm, because it's fantasy, you know, comic books are fantasy, so you don't want it to look perfect. Some people are really good at making things look super realistic. I, on the other hand, I like things to look like a painting. But you can get a sense of realism with your shadows and light. That's the main thing that you want to emphasize when you're doing your paintings or drawings. The proportions themselves aren't what make the picture great. Most images, you'll find it's the use of color, and it's the use of the shadow and the light. Oh, looks like he's got a bit of a bulging chest there. I think he had like on his belt these yellow bits coming down there. So I'm imagining that the light source is coming from above, his right, our left. So it's going to cast a shadow on the inner thigh and this back leg. Let's put this foot, maybe this foot's a bit too small. We'll see. Sometimes as well, when you're drawing just the line work, you think the proportions are right, but then you add color or shadow and you realize, no, that's not working. And vice versa. Sometimes you put in the correct proportions, but it looks off because there is no shadow and light. Shadow and highlights. Here we go. See how it's already made the legs, give them that thinned out look. That's what I was going for. Have you noticed in all those 60 posters you see? Because I love things like Robert McGuinness, 60s style posters. Really some of my favorite stuff. I love that old stuff. The legs were always long and thin, a bit like, you know, Mad Men, I guess, how the way people dressed, that sort of thing. And here we go. Just a quick little bit of, his hand's probably too big for what I wanted in this. Oh yeah, this is looking good. And here we go. Giving it that look of fabric. He wore some sort of I don't know what you call it. Is it nylon? Nylon? That it was like a shiny material for the for the blue. If anyone knows, if anyone has any details about Adam West's Batman that they'd love to pass on to me, I would love to know, because I was a huge fan of that show. As funny as it looked, I really, really loved it. It was great. Many, many fantastic childhood memories sitting on the floor in front of the TV set in the afternoon watching this show. Now, I don't know if this has been a really helpful demonstration. I have not probably used my greatest effort to explain how I did this, but what I did essentially is I took a figure 8 heads high. I kept the body still for this demonstration, and I just manipulated the arms and legs using, say, for instance, this arm would come down about here, like from the wrist, usually about there. I'm thinking, okay, well, where would my, if it was like a wireframe or a maquette, where would all the parts move to? And if I start with the wireframe, just a very simple front-on view, from there I can just reposition the body parts as I need to. And then it's a matter of figuring out, okay, well, where are the shadows going to fall? And how am I going to make this look interesting? I have to think of the body as a 3-dimensional object. Where will the muscles be? Where will the shadows fall? Which takes a bit of practice, but the more often you do it, you start to see, okay, there's three-dimensionality to this part of the body, three-dimensionality to this part of the body in this shape. Okay, I think I've reached about 20 minutes there. And I'm going to finish up there, and perhaps we can do another live stream. See how they go. I can only try, can't we? Just do more and more. I apologize if this seemed not as professional as other live streams. I have to admit, I'm not a great public speaker or fantastic at demonstrating how to make art. I do my best. But what I'd like to do is in the next video, take this to the color stage and show you a bit of adding color to an image. That could be something. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, give this a like, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in looking at some other learning material, you can visit my website. I'll leave a link below, but you can go to courses.dionhamel.com and check out some free resources I have there for, say, drawing the head, which is really, really useful if you're into comic books, drawing, illustration, those sorts of things. And anyway, I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again. Bye.